Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. This Christmas I only wanna be close to you.
I gotta ask, as somebody that has been a principal at an elementary as well as the high school level, education, evolving the plan of education is something that's so paramount, right? No matter what, you have to come up with the game plans that are going to work for those that are in the certain positions.
Right, and I've also had the opportunity to be at the middle school, so I've seen the entire continuum of K-12. Each school, each level has its own challenges. When I think about during the pandemic and the learning loss of elementary students, we have a lot of learning loss across the continuum, but especially those students who were in kindergarten, those foundational skills. I think about the importance of that. At the high school level, those kids are able to bounce back quicker because they've already acquired a lot of those foundation skills and they're just building on them. So the challenges have been very different, but there also have been a lot of commonalities across the spectrum with internet access, lack of participation during that time. And we're all having some of the same challenges, coming back and getting used to interacting with one another, the social and emotional aspect of returning back face to face. So even through K-12, we're still having some common challenges in that area as well.
Hello and welcome to the 12 Days of Education presented by the Rockingham County Education Foundation. I'm Joe Dexter. Glad to have you along. A great show for you as the Rockingham County Partnership for Children Executive Director April Cox will join us to talk about early childhood development and education through that aspect. And you heard Dr. Laura Carter, who we had on yesterday, principal at Rockingham County High School, and one of the things that she mentioned was challenges. We know the challenges out there with teachers, with assistants, principals, those working in nonprofits to support the education objectives that we have in our community. It's always an objective to learn, and that's why we are so thankful for your support throughout this wonderful journey on the 12 Days of Education thus far. 52 donations, $7,795 raised. We could not do this without you and all the initiatives of the Education Foundation to create a better world for our students and our teachers. And it warms my heart this Christmas season just to know the importance that lies within our community for those initiatives. Glad to have you along on this 12 days of education. Let's take a look at why we are here to raise funds for so many objectives and initiatives, including the College Advising Corps right here in our own community that helps low-income first-generation and underrepresented NC high school students attend a college that will serve them well by placing a recent UNC graduate as college advisors in public schools throughout the state. And as we've mentioned throughout the 12 days, the local impact tells us just how important this is through the numbers alone. $30 million in scholarships have been offered to seniors since 2013 here in Rockingham County. That's a $450 return for every $1 invested inside the Carolina College Advising Corps program here in our community. And Rockingham County seniors have access to one-on-one personal help from near-peer advisors who've just walked their path and know the obstacles to getting into college, and they help find students a path for the way that they want to take. Last academic year, the College Advising Corps reached 90% of Rockingham County high school seniors, that's throughout Rockingham County schools, and helped them secure $8 million in offered scholarships. As we talk about so much, no pandemic will stop teachers from educating. That's the power of education and the wonderful teachers and administrators that we have right here in our community. Another initiative that we continue to work hard on here with the Education Foundation is Trails K-12, which advances equity in the outdoors, starting with students through a system-wide model of change by building access to natural learning spaces in the backyards of their own schools and empowering teachers to use those spaces and help students throughout to learn of the beautiful things in our environment in so many different ways, to learn through the creative process in the woods. It's just a beautiful program, an ambitious initiative to offer creative, innovative, and effective outdoor learning spaces to every public school in Rockingham County by the end of 2024. And at its core, Trails K-12 is a movement to get kids outside in the backyards of their schools, in their natural spaces, for structured and unstructured time, because both are important in the realm of education and both are vital to nurturing creative thinking and developing of the whole child. Well, we are here for those initiatives, including several others through the Education Foundation, and to raise funds by texting EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. But if you've been a fan of the 12 days, you know that we're not going to leave you hanging. We've got a giveaway today, a wonderful giveaway, a year free pickup fee from Eliana's Garden Online Market, a duo of elderberry syrup pack, as well, one basic and one plus, and a $20 gift certificate. As well, up for grabs is a 2.5-hour consultation with Trailmaker Round Rock Design. All you got to do to enter this giveaway and all of our giveaways is text EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. If you haven't heard of this new online market that Eliana's Garden has put together for our area, in all areas here in Rockingham County, it brings together farmers and those that forage right here in our own community and provides natural shopping goods for you to pick up. It doesn't get better than that. You know where it's coming from. You know where it's sourced. And that's the beauty of this giveaway. Free pickup fee from Eliana's Garden Online Market and the duo elderberry syrup pack, as well as a $20 gift certificate and the 2.5-hour consultation with Trailmaker Round Rock Design. That is valuable as well. You can get into those drawings by texting EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. Of course, as well, from Arthur's Jewelry in Reedsville, we will be giving away the 1-carat diamond and gold bracelet valued at $1,200. Thank you to Arthur's Jewelry in Reedsville for their continuous support of the Education Foundation. You got to enter this giveaway. All of our 12-day giveaways from this point forward, too. All you got to do is support and text EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. Of course, you do not have to donate in order to be entered. We appreciate your support, but no donation is necessary to enter these drawings. But we hope you will. To enter without donation, email your name and email address to Jenny at helprockinghamstudents.org. That's a look at all the good stuff, but even better stuff on the way. A grand prize giveaway on the final day of the 12 days of education, a weekend stay in the lovely oceanfront Holt Condo on Caswell Beach. So you know what to do. It's easy. where that Santa hat lies, text EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. As we welcome in our guest today, April Cox is the director of the Rockingham County Partnership for Children. April, how are you doing today? The tree looks beautiful back there.
Thank you, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to have you on and talk childhood development in education. You know, oftentimes when we think of the education process, we kind of forget a step, don't we? We don't realize as parents, I'm guilty of it just as much as anybody else is, every single moment in time from the time that your child is born is an opportunity to teach and an opportunity to educate.
It is, and it's really made our agency think as we think about our mission in the community. It really even goes further than that. We know so much about science now that tells us even in utero, there's so much happening in the experiences that a pregnant mother, the health, her well-being during that time depends, it impacts so much of that child's development later on. So really we say prenatal is where it all begins.
And when you think of all those things, and sometimes we overthink it, right, too, but if you are, it's why it's so important to me to understand the role of parenting and grasp, and it's almost like rooting for a team in a way. As a parent, you want to grasp onto what that responsibility is, fully understand it, and not just understand it because, as parents, we sometimes think we have all the answers. It's a continuous process. We have to continue to learn what is best, what can be best, what fits best, what is other options. And if you continue to keep the parenting window open, I think that helps a lot too in that realm of education at a young age.
Yeah, we like to say that parents are a child's first teacher, and that's very true, but we know parenting doesn't come with a handbook or a manual, an instruction manual. So we like to say that a lot of our family support programs are the GPS, and the parents are the drivers of the vehicle. They're driving that car and we're just the GPS trying to help them navigate all of life's journeys and stages of life. But yes, parents are so critical in really building that foundation for children that sets them up for success later in life.
Well, tell us some of those programs and some of those initiatives you have going on at the Partnership for Children. Tell us a little bit more in depth of what you're offering to the community.
Sure. So we like to say we have 3 buckets of programming at the Partnership for Children. We have family support, early care and education, and then health. And health is really woven into all of our programs. So it's not that we have necessarily separate programs for health, but one being family support. We have the Parents as Teachers program. This program provides a parent educator going into the homes of families, children birth to 5, really making sure that families are getting the support they need and helping them understand child development. Having someone to ask those questions to. What does this mean? I'm noticing my child's doing this. Should I be concerned? What can I do to support their growth and development? Our parent educators are trained in lots of assessment tools so they can provide some developmental assessments and discuss those results with families. So really just having that coach to help them navigate the parenting journey. We have the Nurse Family Partnership Program. It's another home-based visiting service. It provides a nurse to first-time mothers, helping them understand from the medical lens how to maintain the healthy pregnancy through delivery, and then working on those healthy child development outcomes. We also offer some home-based visiting services for our young families. So we have the Adolescent Parenting Program that provides services for parents ages 13 to 19. We know our young parents, we have some incredible young parents, but we know the needs that they have may differ from some of our older parents. So we have a team of folks that's designed to support those students in the high schools. So they go into the high schools and provide some support groups for any other pregnant or parenting young adults to bring those folks together so they have a team of folks that they can lean on, ask questions, be there for one another as they're going through this experience. So that's our family support, a team of folks, again, supporting families in the home or our young parents in the schools. We offer the North Carolina pre-K program. So again, education doesn't start just in kindergarten. There's a lot of work that happens in those first 5 years. In fact, 90% of brain development happens before the age of 5. And we like to say those first 5 years have a lot to do with what happens for the next 80 years. So we cannot let these critical 2,000 days, that's exactly how many days before a child enters kindergarten, we can't let those pass without making sure that children have what they need to build that strong foundation so they are set up to reach their full potential. So the North Carolina pre-K program offered at no cost to children who are 4 years old. So it's a good year of quality preschool experience before they head off to kindergarten. Very strong program here in the county. We're in several elementary schools. We have a couple of programs at Western Rock Middle, and then several private childcare programs who offer the NC Pre-K program. Those classrooms are led by BK licensed teachers, implementing a high quality curriculum and making sure that those children have everything they need to be successful in kindergarten. Then we have the early education services team. So this team is providing support in our childcare programs or in our preschool programs. If you've experienced childcare with your own children or you've worked in childcare, you know these teachers have a huge job. They play a huge role in these little ones' lives. Right now, the childcare workforce it's really been hit hard, especially with the pandemic. We're paying these folks peanuts to what they should be making for the work that they're doing. But those teachers and those children in the classrooms need a lot of support as well. So we have a team of folks that provide coaching and training and technical assistance in those classrooms to help them manage all of the licensing regulations. Again, if you've been in childcare, you know there's a rule book that's pretty thick on how to safely run a childcare program. And then we have, I guess our fourth bucket would be literacy. So we have several literacy initiatives. We know the younger children that are exposed to books, that have books in their home, an adult responsive and nurturing care down and read a book and interact with them in that way, the better off they will be. So we have the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. This program is offered to anyone living in Rockingham County. If you are birth to age 5, you can receive a book in the mail per month. It's age appropriate, developmentally appropriate. It comes right in the mailbox to the kiddo's home. This is a highlight we hear over and over. This is probably one of our most popular programs. Kiddos love running to the mailbox and checking for their book every month.
I got 2 girls that have loved it. Let me tell you, do they love it?
Yes, very exciting. So we're proud to have that program here in the county, and just we really enjoy hearing all the good things. And then Reach Out and Read. That's another literacy focused program that is in our pediatric offices or some of our family practices. So we have 6 participating sites in the county. This program has our medical providers that prescribe, and I say quote, prescribe reading to families during their child's well-child visit. Again, we know a lot of times families respect physicians' opinions about things. So when someone of that caliber is talking to families about the importance of getting out a book, looking at pictures together, pointing out words, reading with them, all the good brain development stuff that's happening during those experiences and interactions, a lot of families take that really seriously coming from a medical provider. So during those well-child visits, the child gets to leave with a book, and the doctor has talked with them about the importance of it and all the good things that come from that. So those are 2 literacy programs, again, that we're very proud of, that are working all to, around education. That's what we're here for. That's what this fundraiser is all about. And we know we have a lot of work to do in early childhood to make sure that, when children hit those doors of the elementary school, that they have had everything that they needed to be ready to learn even more.
And you can find out more at rockinghamkids.com as well for the Rockingham County Partnership for Children. And April, I call it Joe math a little bit, but when I look at certain things in our life, sometimes it's okay to admit that you need to have some type of blueprint. I mean, I wouldn't have a plumber come in without a blueprint in my house. So as an early parent, sometimes there is some value in being thrown into the fire, right? But also there's some value in realizing when you're in the fire, you got to put it out. So if you have some tools, if there's some options out there for you to learn a little bit more about parenting, then take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Again, there's no go-to book or
No.
something we can read to necessarily get us through everything. But there are a lot of good resources out there, and our parent educators are familiar with a lot of those. And a lot of them are parents themselves with a lot of lived experiences. And there's so much that we can learn from one another. A lot of our work brings families together. In the last year and a half, it's been virtually, but we still hold our connection groups because we know there's so much that families can share with other families that can be helpful as they're navigating this really challenging but exciting journey. So yes, we all need support and help in some way, and that's the work of the partnership.
We're just over $2,200 away from meeting our goal at the 12 Days of Education for the Rockingham County Education Foundation and its initiatives. You can help us by texting EDUCATE to 24365. That's EDUCATE to 24365. And thank you so far. 52 donations, $7,795 raised. You mentioned, April, a little bit earlier about childcare and some of the groups that you guys hold, hearing directly from those that live in Rockingham County. What are some of the things you're hearing from those that need childcare as well as childcare providers that we need to kind of focus on here in Rockingham County and probably across the country, right?
Yes. So those work in the front lines, we hear that they want to be recognized as professionals. For so long, this field has been seen as just a babysitter. Just somewhere for kiddos to go while the parents went to work. And we know that they are brain builders. They are literally molding and shaping and working with the architecture of children's brains. And that's a big job. We are encouraging them, those that are not certified or have their licensure or their degrees in early childhood. So many of them are working towards that because they want to grow their skill set and better prepare children. So what we're hearing from the front lines is they want to be seen as a professional. They want to be paid as a professional.
Yes.
We know there's a big gap between what early educators make and what our K-12 educators make. And even those in K-12 are not being paid what they should. So we know education in general, there's a lack of funding and support for those professionals. We're also hearing the need for infant toddler care. If you are a parent in Rockingham County with an infant, you're probably going to have a hard time finding a quality space for them to be. So that's another thing that our team is working on doing, trying to recruit some potential providers, opening facilities, but it's a lot to start a business. And so I think again, there's a need for some support. We would love to see the county get behind this work to provide startup grants or support for those that are interested in starting these childcare businesses that would allow more spaces so these infants and toddlers can be served. We're considered an infant toddler desert. We tend to have more preschool and school age spaces than we do the infant toddlers. So that's currently one of the big needs that we're seeing.
Even for those that are here and have dedicated their time and life here to doing it, we need to look, I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, but at opportunities for them to expand, grants that can help them with things that they need in their development centers. Yes.
If you look into it's a really complex situation because families can't possibly pay any more for childcare. The cost of childcare is extremely expensive for families, but yet we have teachers working in those facilities. I forget the percentage, but there's a large percentage of those working in early childhood that are living off of government assistance. They qualify for those services. And so that's an issue. So there's not a lot of profit to be made in the childcare industry. And that's another big issue is seeing early education as part of the education system. And I feel like personally, until it is recognized in that way at the state level and funded the way public education is, I think we're always going to see this disparity.
I think a part of that disparity comes down, and this is my opinion, to parenting, in understanding parenting roles in childhood development. You know, it's so hard, and trust me, I get it as a parent. You worked hard all day. You checked in, you punched in, and then you punched out, and you got a lot on your mind. But take that 10 minutes when you check in and when you check out to get a better understanding of what's going on at that childhood development center or with your daycare provider and with your child and connect those. It's important to understand not only where your child is and where they stand, but where your developer is coming from, what they're going through, and connecting them. If you just show up and you just pick up and you just drop off, you're not going to understand the full spectrum of what's going on and get a feel for some of the things that we need improvements on. I would just encourage parents to take that extra bit of time, even if it's just one day out of the week when you're heading to pick up your kid or drop off your kid. It will do dividends not only just for that center, but with your relationship with that person that's imperative to your child's life.
Yeah, and research tells us too, across the board in education, children are much more successful when their families are engaged. And so early educators, and I know our school system, we're constantly working on how can we engage families. And so those are great ideas that you threw out, Joe, just checking in, asking how you can help. And our childcare programs in schools doing the same for families, figuring out creative ways to bring those educators and families together. And we know the students are the ones who benefit from that.
She's April Cox. She is the director of the Rockingham County Partnership for Children, also a member of the Rockingham County Education Foundation Board. Before we get you out of here, I got to ask, what are your thoughts on the initiatives of the Education Foundation and how things have come together over the last few years to develop different lanes and avenues for education?
Yeah, I'm really excited to be on the board of the Education Foundation. Really excited to see Jenny at the helm of this organization and all the creative initiatives and ideas that she has brought to the table. Really excited about this 12 days of education. Last year, this was such a huge success. Really proud to be a part of it again this year. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing where this organization goes and all the good things that will come from these initiatives.
She's April Cox. She's the director of the Rockingham County Partnership for Children. You can learn more at rockinghamkids.com. April, thank you for your time. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and enjoy this beautiful time of the year. And thank you for your time. She's April Cox with the Partnership for Children here on the 12 Days of Education. And as we know, education continues to grow throughout us, no matter what age. And it's very important from a cognitive level early on. That's why it's important to talk about these issues and continue to build on the initiatives that put them number one in life. Because without those moments for our children, we don't build the building blocks that we need to build. As we welcome in our executive director of the Education Foundation, this beautiful education day, it's Jenny Edwards. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Joe. How are you today?
Good. We've got a great giveaway to give away in just a bit, and we'll touch on that. But I wanted to get some of your thoughts, too, on the early cognitive development and what you're seeing as director. I think that when we start at the beginning of the building block is when we have the best build, right?
I know. And I was really taken with April's point that early childhood educators that for so many years we have thought of as, early child care, these are really professionals that are building brains. They're building the foundation. And just, what did she say? It's just a few months. There's not a lot of time there. And you're building a foundation that kid's going to stand on for the rest of his life. So I thought that was a great point she made.
Well, let's take a look at the giveaway today because it is the 12 Days of Education. We talk education, but we give away great things as well. A beautiful gift today. Jenny, tell me a little bit about Eliana's Garden and the online market and your experience with it.
Huge fan. I just signed up to Eliana's market. I live in Stoneville. Stoneville is one of their pickup points, but they also have pickup points in Eden and Reedsville. So they're reaching across the county. It is a wide range of providers. My first delivery was a box of organic food, and the chard that came was so alive. It bounced. If I buy chard from the supermarket, it can look a little sad, a little wilted, and I'm unaccustomed to that. This is all just so fresh and lovely. Eliana,
the beauty thing of this market and what we're giving away today is a free pickup fee from Eliana's Garden, plus a $20 gift certificate and an elderberry syrup pack. Plus, we'll ask Jenny about the Trail Maker Round Rock Design consultation giveaway in just a bit. But one thing, Jenny, that I've noticed is just searching. You can get anything from I bought some Christmas jam. You can get some eggnog. You can get all kinds of vegetables, every vegetable you can think of, meats, every single thing that you need to be sustained is pretty much on that market.
Fogwood Foods Brenda Sutton, who many people know. She's been very active in the local food market movement in Rockingham County for a long time. She does a pickle. And I bought a jar of her pickles. I opened those up and tasted one. And I had forgotten what pickles tasted like when I was a kid. And those are the very same pickles, not to be missed.
Well, so we got that. Explain to us as well the consultation with Tony McGee and Round Rock Design.
Oh, you bet. So Round Rock Design has been key in building almost all of the recent trail in Rockingham County. He is very dedicated to community service. He sees trails as community connections. So he's not just a trail builder that comes in, but he really wants to see how trails can uplift and build community. He is a co-founder of the Trails K-12 project and brought a lot of intellectual powerhouse to developing that program. So the winner today, they could have Tony come and take a look at their yard. He's going to provide some really imaginative advice on maybe a problem that they're having or something they would like to do. Tony can really help that homeowner think through it. Or the winner could gift that to a local school, and Tony will go to that school and meet with the principals and the teachers and help them think through how to develop something for their school to get their kids outside.
That's awesome. Well, I think it's about that time on this beautiful day of education to go to the Golden Teapot that
All
keeps
right.
on giving.
Okay, I'm going to draw a name now. Are we ready, Joe?
We're ready.
So everyone who has donated up until now, whether you won or not, you go back into the pot. Of course, like Joe pointed out, a donation is not necessary to enter, but we do appreciate those donations. And I've got a name here. Need my glasses. Who do we have? Oh, this is great. Steve Scott is the winner today.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he donated to support the Trails K-12 program. Steve Scott is with Tri-State Steel. He's been a terrific supporter. He may not have known I put his name in here, but he deserves to have his name in here because he's sponsoring one of the big field trips. So Steve Scott, you won the prize today.
Awesome. Well, that's the best way, is to give to somebody that gives back all the time in our community. And Steve, no matter what the initiative, takes time to give back to our community, and greatly appreciate him and everything he does for Rockingham County. So couldn't go to a better person, could it?
Could not. Absolutely not.
It's the 12 days of education. Stay tuned. We've got several more days. We've got 3 more days. Tina Chestnut will join us tomorrow. Speaking of Trails K-12, somebody with experience with that at Moss Street School, a beautiful trail on their facilities. We'll talk to her about that coming up tomorrow. We've got great giveaways coming up. We've got the diamond bracelet with also gold from Arthur's Jewelry, the gold bracelet and diamond bracelet. We'll be giving away those field trips and our weekend oceanfront stay at the condo in Caswell Beach coming up as well on the 12 days of education. Well, Jenny, it's always good to talk education and have you with me to share all these great initiatives going on in our community. I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Joe.